2014-2015, I was recruited as a Marie Curie Fellow based in Istanbul at Koç University in affiliation with the Department of International Relations and Mire Koç, which is a research center which examines all issues related to migration. People are asking how did I end up in Istanbul? As a migration scholar, but mostly as a philosopher, I am interested in issues concerning mobility of people across borders. There are so many issues that come at stake when we think about democratic concepts, how the concept of citizenship should work, for example, and how those concepts should work in current times like ours, in times in which there is a movement of a number of different categories of people across borders. These are refugees, for example, and this is the most prominent example that we see in the media most often. Migrants, but those migrants can be economic migrants, temporary migrants, guest workers, asylum seekers, and so on. The categories are many, and the state is interrogated, is obliged to all the time revise its concepts, revise its laws, and revise its policies in order to accommodate current times. I'm trying to bridge towards policymakers and other migration scholars a gap that is actually existing very much in academia, but it also exists between academia and the non-academic world. For example, media, other stakeholders, governments, international organizations, and so on. In Turkey, for example, the Syrian crisis was so present in the society, and my words, and nonetheless academic words, which tend to be rather dry and scientifically shaped and contextualized, I had the interest of representing visually what I was seeing and how I was perceiving the Syrian displacement of individuals. So, among other things, I had the pleasure to take many photos. I started with the camps in the southeast of Turkey, where currently a few 100,000 people are staying, and which currently are very difficult to visit. Mostly, I believe, I represented vulnerability, and perhaps some critics might also say that somehow I didn't manage to show the agency of refugees. And it is true, I perceived a lot of courage in the people who are in the most precarious conditions. But somehow I wanted to show mostly, I believe, how people's life can be reduced by phenomena that are bigger than themselves, bigger than their cities, or their countries, or the region even, in this case.
Bu mültecilerin geneli yorgunluktan tükenmiş kadınlar, ağlayan çocuklar ve yaşlı ve hasta olup ancak bir baston yardımıyla yürüyebilen nineler ve dedelerdi.
My period in Turkey, in Istanbul, and my research has benefited enormously from the Marie Curie fellowship and the entire package that was given to me from the European Commission. My research results were presented all around the world during this year, from South Africa to Australia, North America, and several countries in Europe. A program without which none of it would have been possible.